Samsung.com just released the pricing for the brand new 2021 Neo series, particularly their QLED Neo series. Now, we're just going to go down some pricing and we're going to tell you guys if it's worth it or not so far as I understand it. And we're just going to kind of dive right in. So smack a like on this video, subscribe if you want to watch us review these TVs later on in the year, which we will be doing. And with that, we're just going to be getting started. Okay, so it's basically like this. When you talk about the Samsung Q900A, you're basically, for a 65-inch, paying $5,000. You have the 75-inch at $7,000 and the 85-inch at $9,000. Now, this is not worth it in my personal view. I really don't care what they offer. The reason for that is because there is no 8K content. I mean, the Super Bowl couldn't even be streamed in 4K. Let that sink in. I mean, really, they're just at this point pushing it to push it. They need to stop with all the 8K stuff. We don't even have mass 4K adoption. I think they need to focus on what we have now and stop being greedy. But that's what I'll say there. Now, with that, also the price points are astronomical. I don't know a soul alive that has $5,000 kicking around for a television, let alone almost $10,000 at the upper end with an 85-inch going for $9,000. These are stratospherical pricings that I think they need to revisit because it doesn't represent the consumer market the way it should. Now, with that being said, we're going to move on to their next 8K model, which is their lower end 8K, their QN800A. Now, the 65-inch will set you back $3,500. The 75-inch will set you back $4,800. And the 85-inch will set you back $6,500. Now, in similar fashion, I don't think this is worth it because you don't have 8K content. So it's like Samsung and all these other manufacturers beating a dead horse, trying to sell you on AI upscaling, but upscaling can only do so much. It is not a native resolution. And that always leads to worse image quality overall anyway, and I wouldn't waste my time. Next up, we have the Samsung QN900A. That comes in for a 55-inch at $1,800. We have the 65-inch at $2,600. We have the 75-inch at $3,500. And we have the 85-inch at $5,000. So again, these price points are pretty ridiculous. I mean, you're talking $1,800 right now. You can buy yourself a Sony A9G. You can definitely buy yourself one of those LG OLEDs that a lot of people are going crazy over. I mean, you can really buy an OLED for that price point. So if pixel level illumination and perfect blacks are what you're after, I don't know that this will be an exceptional value for the dollar. And I'm really worried to see how this price kind of holds up once we start seeing the price points of, Sony's OLEDs and LG's OLEDs this year. If this is going to be more expensive, then it's going to have to really deliver, especially particularly in the viewing angle department, along with keeping the colors. Because typically Samsung has had a lot of problem with that lately, and if they can't hold it together, they're not going to do very well. Now, next up we have their lower end model, which is their Samsung QN85A, and this is going to start off for 55-inch at let's call it $1,600. We've got the 65-inch at $2,200, and we've got the 75-inch at $3,000, and lastly, the 85-inch at $4,500. So this is a little bit more affordable, and I think a lot of people are probably just going to run to these kinds of models because they're in the mid-tier kind of price range, and I think most people looking at a higher-end TV that is a higher-end customer typically would have about $1,500 to about $2,000 to spend on a television. That's a reasonable figure. I think anything other than that is a little bit wasteful. I don't think a TV is worth $3,000, let alone upwards of that. I don't care about the size and all that stuff because typically and traditionally, when you're going up in size, you are throwing away pixel density anyway, so your image isn't going to be as sharp as it would be on a smaller display. Now, for some people, that's common sense. Some people really are new to this and don't know that, so you might be better with the 65-inch and not get that 85-inch and save yourself thousands of dollars. Things like that, like strategic planning. They're going to charge these astronomical pricings no matter what. And I can't honestly, in my heart of hearts, say that Samsung is going to earn it this year. The reason I'm going to say it like that is because I've seen what they've done with their S21 phone, what they've done with their S20 phones, and honestly speaking, if the phone line is any indication on what they're going to do with their TV line, I'm not going to be impressed at all because they're offering a lot of features that are great and the features hold up and all, but the screen was really the thing that really had me like not feeling my S20 FE, let alone what I've seen on other manufacturers. It's to the point now where the greed is out there. Like the phones, they have it to a point where they genuinely believe their phones are worth $1,100 and no phone is worth that price, right? It's a goddamn phone. Well, I feel like the TVs are now getting to the point where they're going to start taking away a lot of the nicer features and stuff that used to come basic on older sets and start charging upwards of $5,000 for you to obtain a certain level of picture quality, or $3,000. You know, no TV is worth that price point. I'm sorry for those paying those prices. It's not worth it because this is what we call a depreciating asset. So literally next year, all of these TVs will be discontinued and they won't be manufacturing them anymore. When you're dealing with a business model like that, there is no value that this product could possibly hold because, again, it's not like an antique or collector or something so game-changing. It's a television model they're pumping out annually, and we already hear talks of next year them coming out with quantum dot OLED and things like that, which I believe because, again, they're ramping up their OLED production in their laptops, so obviously TVs are next. So this kind of may just be like a one-year kind of thing where they have these micro LED things. Maybe they carry it over into next year when they're ready, or mini LED solutions. But either way, I don't know. I feel like we need to really get these things in. We need to review them. We need to see how they do, and we need to do it honestly. Now, I have zero faith in the rest of the AV community to do that. They've made it very clear that they want to make money off of affiliate links, mislead you, and make you believe in a hype so brainwashed like that anything outside of what they say and what the reviews say as a collective when they're getting paid is just misinformation. So I won't be obviously doing what they do. I'll be keeping it real with you. If you like that kind of thing and you really want to know what these TVs can do, subscribe and join the journey because we're going to be hitting the ground running. Next month they launch in March, I believe as early as March 6th. So if you're excited for that, jump on board. Now's a great time. Thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.